Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Monisi and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a print look like an actual painting. I did this on a budget. If I were to purchase this painting that I wanted for the longest time, framed and just ready to go on Etsy, it would have been like $250, and I did not want to do that. So I ended up spending, I think, $50 altogether, around there, because the frame was free and I just spent money on the print, and then I downloaded the print, and then I'll show you how I did the texture on the painting to make it look like an actual painting. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around and I'll show you the step-by-step process of how I got this beautiful painting. I found this beautiful painting at my aunt's house and it was hidden in the closet. No one was using it, so I decided to take it, and I believe this painting is called Porches by Charlotte Sternberg, if I'm not mistaken. But this artwork isn't me, so I decided to change it out for an artwork that I've been wanting on Etsy for the longest time. The first step I did was I just unscrewed the hanging equipment, and then I used a knife and I cut out the backing of the painting so that I could switch out the painting. Once I removed the backing, I realized how intricately this was put together. And so what I ended up doing is I used my hammer, like the claw part of the hammer, and some pliers to just kind of bring the staples forward or closer to me and loosen them up. And then I was able to take this part out. And then the next step was removing the glass. Be very careful when you do this step because the corner of this was already broken, of this glass, and I'm not a big fan of glass for wall art, so I decided not to use this part. So this part is very important. If you want this print to look like art, you're gonna want Mod Podge and a paintbrush. I had the glossier Mod Podge, but what you want to do is just kind of use your brush as if you're painting over it, just so you can really see the brush strokes. And I didn't make it extremely heavy. I didn't kind of glob on the brush strokes, but if you want it to be extremely noticeable, you can make it very thick and where you can see in 3D the brush strokes, which I didn't do. I could go back and do it again, but I thought it looked fine the way it was. But this is a very important step when you do this. Once the Mod Podge was dried, I put it back in the frame, and then I decided I wasn't a big fan of the frame colors, so I used some antique gold rub and buff and just kind of lightly went over it to make it, you could still see the wood, but it just kind of made it look a little more vintage, which I'm a big fan of. And I actually got these two sconces at a thrift store, I believe, or I'm not sure if it was a yard sale. It was pretty cheap, but I really liked the design of it. And I decided to put it on either side of the painting. Also, this painting, this print that I got was on Etsy. I bought it on Etsy for like $3, downloaded it, and then I went to signs.com and it was like a custom print that I ordered. And then this eyesore was bothering me. The nail that I used was silver, so I went in with some gold rub and buff to disguise it a little bit. And then these LED candles I found at Meijer. They have the Mikasa brand. They have the most gorgeous candles there, so if you have the Meijer grocery store, you should definitely go check them out. And I thought these were beautiful, and I figured I should buy these instead of the real candles, because with my luck, the wax would definitely go down the walls and onto the couch. So I thought this was just the perfect size for these, and you could still see the design of the wall sconce. I was so happy with how this wall turned out. I've been looking at this blank space for the longest time, and I knew exactly what I wanted. and I was finally able to do it, and I think I spent less than $100 altogether, which is a pretty big deal because wall art can be super expensive. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this. I am so happy with it, and I just enjoy coming in here every single day. But thank you for coming to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you comment, subscribe, like, and share, and I hope to see you next time.